Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Talkin' Habs, Saturday Hockey Talk Live, where we talk about anything and everything Habs, hockey, and life, with your host, Rick Selly. Go Habs, go, and let's talk hockey. The road to the 25th Cup is under construction. Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talkin' Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. Look, not even ready with the microphone. Not good, Rick. Hey everybody, it's Saturday Hockey Talk. There's lots to talk about. Montreal makes the trade of Jeff Petrie today. Jeff Petrie, Ryan Poehling go to Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for Mike Matheson and a fourth-round pick next season or next draft. And, so that finally happened. And then Montreal turned around right away, pretty quickly anyways, and signed Rem Pitlick to a 2-year deal worth $2.2 million. So that's a $1.1 million AAV. All right. Excuse me. I ate a big supper about an hour ago. So now I'm burping it up. So benefit of you guys. I don't think anybody's here. Kenny was in earlier. There's 10 people here. Oh, okay. He said Petrie gone to Penguins. Yes, I did a video. There's a video. I did a video of it. It's out there. Go Habs, go. Hey, David Arthur. How's it going? NHL hockey news. How's it going, guys? Good to see you. The board is open. Whatever you guys want to talk about. That's why the thumbnail just had a bunch of names. Whatever you want to talk about. Basically we're in summer mode now that the free agent period, it's not over, but there's still some names out there actually, but it's basically halfway through the big names and all that. So it's summer mode, and let's talk about whatever you want. Hey, bye. The deal is done. Stand a man. It's not a trade for Pitlick. Pitlick just see what happened with Pitlick was they didn't qualify him, give him a qualifying offer because he had arbitration rights, and they didn't want to go to arbitration with the dude because he probably would have got more, like probably double what he got now. So that left him as a free agent, and they negotiated with him. So, not a trade. No, nothing at fault. People don't have to apologize, and you're not at fault. I'm trying to think of what else happened. Nothing much. It's the quiet time of the year, right? So, I'm sure we're not going to get a lot of big news happening until something like this happens for the next month and a half. ABL. BL says, I like the deal with Pittsburgh. Poehling wasn't in the long-term plans, I guess. Yeah, I don't think so. Shem Pickles' deal is not a two-way, which is right. That was a little surprising. No, I'm not surprised at that. The thing is, they didn't want to get him at $2 million. If he had arbitration rights and he went to arbitration, he probably would have got that. So I'm not surprised it's a one-way deal at all. Baby says, good to see Rem re-signed as he deserves it. I knew we were not getting anything near what we wanted, as things are really weird out there. Yeah, that omen of I can't remember who the player is. That I guess Ryan McDonough to Nashville for next to nothing. That was the start of it. And you go and then Pacioretty being given away, and literally future considerations. That's just saying, okay, here, take the player first, please. Take him. Thank you. And that's what that means, really. You're not getting anything back for futures. You might get a body back, but that's it. Kind of, I guess. So I figured this was Hughes had a lot of offers. He said he had offers, and this was the best offer that they got, where he was not asked to retain salary, because that was the biggest part of this deal, was he was not retaining salary here. So he got what he wanted that way. I guess they felt that they weren't going to get a better offer down the road. So, listen, Matheson's not a bad defenseman. He's maybe not as good as Jeff Petrie at his best, but he's not a bad defenseman. Born to be a Hab. Good day for the Habs. I think so, yeah. NHL Hockey says, thoughts on can Norlander make the Habs roster or Laval, and how do you think his performance be? Yeah, well, I still have that kind of gut feeling Norlander was going to get involved in a trade. He might still be. Can he make the Habs? I don't think so, but he'll make Laval. As a matter of fact, if he's coming over to North America, he's going to play in Laval as a minimum, and I would think, if he's a right side guy, I don't know on that. He might have a chance here because I think we're a little thin on the right side, although there is Savard, Barron, and Weidman. The thing here is there's no number one guy at all there on the first pairing guy. There's no first pairing guy. If David Savard's our first pairing guy, not that I really care, we're in trouble. But it's an okay year for that to be. So, let's see, where was I? The last two big pieces, Kadri and Klingberg predictions. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where Klingberg will end up. Won't be in Dallas, I don't think. The thing I'm wondering is now, I imagine the reason Pittsburgh would reach out and actually make the move for Petrie before Klingberg dropped was they weren't in the running for Klingberg because they know they weren't going to pay what Klingberg wants. I think that's why they would have made this move. So Klingberg's going to drop when he does. I don't know. He's got to make up his mind where he wants to go, I guess. As for Kadri, I have zero idea. I really have zero idea. Where will Drouin fit with the Habs? I can see him on third line with Gallagher and Dvorak. Yeah, it depends how things work out. Well, what moves are going to be made? There's still a couple of months to go before they drop the puck in preseason anyway. And, I second or third line, depending on who's still here, Depending on does Slavkovsky make a Slavzilla? Does Slavzilla make it? Does he stay in Montreal or not? That's going to have a big effect for that. McDonough showed no trade clause mean nothing without a no movement clause. No, not exactly. No trade. It depends. He gives a list, right? So it's not like it means nothing. At least he didn't go somewhere he didn't want to go necessarily. BL says Patch's deal surprised me. Carolina got him for nothing. Guess Eichel didn't want him there. No, it's a money crunch there, right? Patch is making $7 million. Just bringing in Eichel means you can't have that. They're in a big money crunch, so just it's sad to see that you got to give players away now. Who fills the remaining spots on the Habs roster? Too early to tell, in my opinion. There's so much time. Who knows what's going to happen? I think there's more moves coming. To what extent? I don't know. So I don't know. I'm not going to make that prediction just yet. Put Barron and Gooley together and got right and left side covered. The thing is Barron ready for first pairing D? And I don't mean that, so what if we play a young guy? Is he ready? Do you screw him up by putting him in at first pairing D minutes? I don't know. And even Gooley, I don't think either of them start up at that high up. So it's going to be Edmondson on the left side. Who plays with him on the right? I don't know. So I think there's more movement ahead on the defense. I think. See, the comments are coming in pretty good now. Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh must have some real good accountants. How the hell are they staying under the cap? Well, remember, they don't have to be under the cap right now. I just came off of Cap Friendly. There's 6 or 8 teams that are over the cap. You're allowed to go 10% over the cap. So that's what they're doing. As they have to be under the cap on opening night. Bay who do you see? Savard, do you see nowhere? Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do there. Joe Pallotta, cap friendly next year. As of now, before the Petrie trade, $61 million, possibly more. Yeah, I didn't look at that, actually, to be honest with you. I was just looking. I just wanted to see Matheson. I just wanted to see what it looked like with him added on there, to be honest with you. Tampa Bay does not seem to have any cap. Well, no, there's a bunch of teams that are, if you look on Cap Friendly, there's a bunch of teams in the red. That's because they're over the cap. Montreal, as far as I know, they're just under the cap. I mean, just under the cap. Who gets traded next? I would think somebody with big money on their contracts. They're going to want to move money. I don't think they make moves unless it's for money, to move guys off the roster for cap space. Thoughts on Struble and the Habs' future with him? No idea there, honestly. I have this feeling Struble doesn't make it. He's one of those. He's the one. They're not all going to make it. I think Struble falls off. I don't know enough about him to say that that's an accurate assessment. I don't know. That's my gut feeling. Hey, old man, how you doing? Sorry, I just got something in my eye. Jeez. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Wait a second. Now, what's David saying here? David is very happy because Montreal Canadiens Cedric Guindon. Wait a second. Because he's a Rockland, Ontario native, 23-minute drive for me. My grandpa lived there for a long time. Is that a draft pick, Cedric Guindon? I guess I didn't know that. Anyways, that's good. Okay, wait a second. I gotta check it. McDonough, that's who you're talking about. I had to find out who you're talking about, baby. He was told to take the trade or they would waive him. Yeah, actually, I had heard that. And Columbus would have got him. They bribed him, go to Nashville or on waiver. Either way, he was going. Yeah, I mean, they have to they had to make some room. They got a big money crunch there. Any team with a money crunch is in the red, they're going to give players away. It looks like that's the new thing now. Back in my day when I was young, there were a lot of future consideration stuff. And then you didn't see it very much or nearly as much. And now it seems like we're back to future considerations as teams have to literally just give players away. Hey, Nathan, welcome in. Welcome in some Nathan hype in this room. Thank you. Thank you that I don't know if it's great Hoggy Chat, but it's Hoggy Chat. Hope you come back and ask your questions. I has the answers. Maybe. Hey, Gabriel. Did I hear that Pierre-Luc Dubois has been particularly trying to force a trade to the Habs for months? That's crazy. Well, I don't know if this is a hot take, but Montreal's not trading for Pierre-Luc Dubois. Because why would they? And when you say, well, why would they? We're in a rebuild. Getting Pierre-Luc Dubois now, not important. And he said that he wants to sign with Montreal. He'll do that in 2 years if he needs to. In 2 years, he's a UFA. He'll sign with us. Why are we giving away assets on roster players to get a guy that's going to sign with us in 2 years? And we're not ready for him anyway. In 2 years, we will be, maybe. But so, no. Pierre-Luc Dubois not coming to Montreal for at least 2 years. How's that? My hot take of the day. I'm on fire. Worried Dak goes instead of Devo. Devo is great, but I want youth. I saw that. Okay, this is what I thought when I saw that story. It was done by Marco D'Amico, who I follow on Twitter. He follows me back. He writes for Montreal Hockey Now. Okay, so I saw this morning, and I saw the headline, and I'm going, okay, wait, this is clickbait. This is clickbait. I read the story. It's clickbait. These hockey writers need you guys to read their stuff so they can get, I don't know how they make money, but they need you to click. And that's all that is, if you ask me. There's no way, I'll say no way. It's highly unlikely Montreal traded Alex Romanov and all that stuff they did to get Kirby Dach, and then they're going to turn around and trade Dach for Dubois, who they just have to wait 2 years for. Why are you doing that? I wouldn't do that. No way. No way in effing hell. Matt's about to join us, and I believe Matt will tell you the same thing. And it'll surprise me if he doesn't.
Matt's about to join us. Yeah, I put it in the comments there too right before I jumped in. Yeah, look, honestly, it makes way more sense in 2 years when you think about it.
Why are we giving up anybody? Why give up anybody if the guy's going to sign with you in 2 years?
Right, and like I said, I think in 2 years we're probably in that point where we're pushing a wild card spot. So that would be when you want to bring him in.
That's when you want to bring him in, 100%. So why? Because they're asking for Suzuki or Caulfield and this guy.
I saw a proposal that would send like Caulfield, Gooley in a first, and I was like,
"Are you kidding me?
I want to know what drugs you're on right now because I want to try those drugs."
I don't want. I don't want to try a drug that makes you make that trade. No way, because that's insanity. It's absolute insanity.
Oh, I know.
It's like, taking a step forward to go 2 steps back. What are we doing that for? And listen, if there's anything that I think so far has taught us about Kent Hughes, he's not dumb like that.
No, and especially with what he said today. He doesn't want to do anything to damage, the long-term plan here.
He's got a plan. It's freaking obvious he's got a plan, and he's following it. And, if you want to say, well, he said about going to get more for Petrie, I don't think there was more to get for Petrie. And I think in the long run, if we don't take Mike Matheson and then Jeff Petrie and constantly compare Mike Matheson against Jeff Petrie, if we don't do that, we should like Mike Matheson. Number 2 about that is he's a local kid. He's like a neighbor of mine almost.
He's also like 7 years, I think, 6 years younger than Jeff Petrie?
6 years younger, yeah. So, you know what? This was a decent trade. Matheson is a pretty good defenseman, and I think Hughes did pretty well. I think he saw this was all we're going to get. We're not. As a matter of fact, the longer we wait, the less we're going to get from. Mm-hmm. I think that's what. Or we have to, we'll have to have him next year. And I think I'm right in something I said where they were posturing, saying, no, if we can't move him, we'll keep him for next. No, I think that was posturing because they needed to move him. And I think it was all posturing. You can tell by how quickly they moved him after saying that. So, but, he got what he could for him, and I don't think they felt they could get better down the road.
I agree, 100%. I wish we weren't just over the cap, but
there's more moves coming. I think, what? I think the fact that he did this and then right away signed Rem Pitlick is he's got confidence something else is going to move for them to create cap space. I don't think he wants to go into next season with a couple 100,000. I don't think so. So I think
it's like a hair over 200,000, something like that.
Yeah. So I think he's got some confidence that there's more moves coming. Mm-hmm. Maybe on defense, who's going to be number 1 on the right side? Have you looked?
Well, I mean, if you want another lottery pick, you just throw David Savard up there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Which, you know what? That's fine, really, right? When you think about it, maybe that's their way of tanking right now, right? They're not going to be good enough.
With Matheson, Savard in the first, and Edmondson, Gooley, and then, I don't know, Barron, Harris?
I guess that's
maybe
right.
Edmondson, Harris, Barron, Gooley, some sort of combination.
I guess it'll be Matheson, Edmondson, and Harris on the left side. Yeah, you're right. I said Edmondson before, but no, you're right. Matheson will be the number 1 guy right now on the left.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess Matheson can take care of some of Savard's.
Yeah, Matheson's a good skater. He'll provide a little touch of offense. Nothing crazy, but
he's a good defenseman. He's a good defenseman, not a great defenseman, but he's a good, solid defenseman. He's kind of the guy that they said they'd like to bring back if they move Petrie. He's experienced. He's got 7 years in the league. He's an offensive defenseman. All those things. So he did what he said. I think it's a little more, like his salary's a little more than they would have liked ultimately, but you get what you can get. All right, let's see what else. How did we get on that? That was somebody's fault. Thoughts on signing PK Subban to fill the RD spot? They traded Petrie. He said he'd bring in an experienced guy if they did that. They did that in Matheson. I don't think their plan was to bring in like another experienced guy. So I don't see it. But, if PK wants to come in like really cheap, maybe. I don't see it though.
Honestly, I see this as a better opportunity to play the kids. Play Gooley, Harris, and Barron.
Exactly. I think that's what they're going to listen. This is how they tank to get that pick we all want them to get. That's how they do it, by making moves like this that keep them near the bottom, but also give the youth experience. Do you believe that Slavkovsky makes the team this season?
I think so. And that's like you said, because I watched your video, the video you post. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday I think. Yeah, yesterday.
And I agree with you. Unless he has just completely shits the bed in camp, I think he
starts.
The roster.
He starts. He has to have a really bad camp not to start the season with Montreal. Does he stick around the whole year? I don't know. Any of us can really say. I think he will, but until he plays, it's hard to say that. But he'll break camp with Montreal unless something goes wrong. Yeah. Thoughts on what candidates St. Louis would want as his defensive coach? I have none, to be honest with you. I have none. Have you heard anything, Matt? I've heard really nothing. They're keeping this one pretty close to the vest because
Larry Robinson would be pretty dope, but I think that ship sailed.
He's not. Yeah, he's not doing that. Yeah,
be pretty sweet though.
What did you say? PK? What's that? Elcat League Min. What the hell does that mean? What language is that? You got to clarify that, buddy. Maybe he did right underneath. Well, we'll go to Gabriel next. According to Montreal insiders, Arpin Basu and Murat Addis, Dubois attended the draft in Montreal because he believed his trade would be completed on the draft floor that night. And then I wonder how much of that is true. This Dubois stuff. They want us to really believe that Montreal is trying to move roster players that are good players they want to keep here in Montreal to get a guy 2 years before they need him, at least 2 years before they need him. That is proven he's not loyal. I don't know. I don't believe that the Dubois thing was even a thing.
True.
You want to tell me Hughes is negotiating to get Dubois?
I don't
believe that.
He's not. But I do think if he does eventually come to the Habs in 2 years, I think he does sign long term. I believe him in that.
But we're not giving up assets to get him.
Right. But I do believe that. I think once he's here, I think he's here long term. I think it. I believe him in that he was.
Yeah, okay, that maybe. But so what I think the Dubois rumors and shit are all about is that has Hughes had conversations about Dubois because he received phone calls from Winnipeg? I believe yes. It's not the same thing as is he negotiating to trade for Dubois? I don't think that's the same thing. These rumors stem from a one-sided attempt maybe of Winnipeg to try to make the deal. I don't think it's a two-way thing, though. I just think he said he'll talk about, my phone, just phone me. I'll talk about it. Doesn't mean I'm going to make a trade or something, but I can talk about it. I don't think that's the same as saying we're actively after Pierre-Luc Dubois. Right? To say that he's negotiating. No, he's taking a call. He's listening. He may ask whatever, but that's not the same as him actively trying to negotiate for this. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference there. So I think that rumor about it is all stems from that. It's not a real it's not accurate.
Right.
Because everything I've heard Hughes say. I don't see how he's making this negotiation or going after Dubois. It doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, honestly, the only roster I would even be roster player that I'd be okay giving up would be Dvorak, because he'd have to move a center out.
Well, that is a name that they're talking about, is Dvorak. It going the other way.
Which
one of the
fine,
names. But not just Dvorak. We're talking throwing Caulfield's name there. And Florida's pick that we got for Sherratt. That's what I'm hearing. No, that's not happening.
No.
First of all, it's an overpayment by Montreal. Caulfield's better than Dubois. I think Caulfield will deliver you big numbers.
I think, I mean, obviously Hughes would never, I bet you in private, if you ask Ken Hughes who the Untouchables are, I'd bet you he'd tell you that first line is Slav, Suzuki, Caulfield are locked away safe in a cabinet somewhere.
I'm sure Gooley's name is there, and a lot of people are throwing Lane Hutson's name to that now. I saw
that.
A lot of people say he's an untouchable. I don't know that he's an untouchable, but I'd like to see him develop here. I'd like if he's going to be a really good NHL. I want him to be here in Montreal.
Thrown into the trade.
Yeah, I could see them, but I'd like to see Hudson.
But I don't like that because
I'd like to see him.
I really think he's going to be something special.
If he's going to make the NHL, I'd like it to be in Montreal. You know what I mean? Because I think he's going to be something special.
I think he will be. Like I said, I mean, he's going to Boston University, which is 15 minutes down.
I heard this, though, to temper your excitement, he's only scheduled to go there not this season, next season.
Yeah.
So you got a season to wait.
That's fine.
Okay, you heard that. I heard that today.
Yeah, I know. I knew about that.
Okay, I just heard that today. All right. Old man says Armia or Hoffman leaves next. I got to tell you, Armia is going to be hard. I think Armia is going to be given away. I don't know how else you're going to move Armia right now without giving him to somebody. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could see it being Hoffman, though. I could see Hoffman being the next guy going. I think they still have too many forwards. They got to move somebody. And they need to move for money. So it's Dvorak, Hoffman, Armia, Byron. But I think, Byron is injured, I think, right now. So I don't think he's in treatment, I heard. So I don't think it's going to be Byron. So, yeah. Anyway, that was for the question, who will they move next? So I don't know. I'd rather a young RD, say that again. I'd rather a young RD in the lineup than signing another veteran RD. That's what we're saying. We're far back.
Play the young kids.
We're a bit far back.
But
here.
I want to touch on one last point too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lane Hudson going to PU. It just gives me just another. It just makes me feel even more strongly that I think he's going to blossom into something great because, I know lately, kind of Michigan's been kind of like the school that everyone talks about. They're turning out NHLers left and right. But if you look at Hockey East over the years and look at the players that come out of Hockey East, oh man, Cale Makar, Johnny Gaudreau, Jake Ottinger, plenty more, Connor Hellebuck. I mean, there's a ton. So he's going to one of the best schools in hockey. So I think going to BU is going to help his development even more.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I'm going to be. I'm trying to think. I started something today. I couldn't get it done. I don't know if I wrote it. I'm going to be doing a video, 2 subjects. One of the subjects is going to be Hudson. I want to have some highlights and talking about him a little bit. So yeah, I'm starting to work on that.
Excellent.
So now what's the other? I think the other is Slavzilla. I think. I don't know. I can't remember what I had for breakfast. I'm going to remember what I thought up for an idea. Is that juice spiked? No. I'm spiked. The juice is not. Dado leaves at half. That's Dadnov? Dadnov. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe not the halfway point, old man, but trade deadline. I think trade deadline. You got 4 guys on expiring contracts. I think unless they re-sign Jake Allen, I think they all go. And that's Drouin, Byron, Dadonov, Allen. Because that's almost $17 million in cap, and they're going to need it for the following season. So it gives them flexibility. They got to sign Caulfield. They're going to need some of that money. So I would think that's going to happen. But I don't know about the halfway point. Listen, if there's a deal, I think he makes it if he can. Because what do we need? Do we really need a guy like Dadonov in a rebuilding year? We don't really,
No,
But
I
if
think
we-
that's. I think that's really a chip that Hughes brought in and said, all right, listen, if he does what he did last year and he performs like he should, we can flip him at the deadline, get some assets for him. I think that's really the reason he brought him in.
Right. If we have to, he'll be a serviceable winger. If not, if we can, we'll move him at the deadline.
If not, his $5 million comes off the books at the end of the year.
And if not, it's $5 million, and he walks, and there's no harm, no foul, because they needed to move Weber's. They needed to move Weber's money, so it was a trade that needed to happen. Let me see. Got to scroll. Turns out Gabriel's cousin used to play in juniors with Shane Wright. My uncle knew Shane's father and always talked to each other at the games. That's pretty cool. I wonder how Shane's doing. I think one thing, Shane Wright, we will see probably the best of Shane Wright every time we play the Kraken. I think. Hey, Joseph, how's it going? Been a while. Dixon, another one. Been a while. Bye, Muppet. Who's Muppet? I don't know that. Ooh. Okay. I'm that far behind that Matt's comment is there. Oh, that's 17 minutes old. Jesus. Shane Lieberman.
You're way behind.
Shane Lieberman, you're making a comment that you got from the media. The Habs are not rebuilding; they are definitely retooling.
Oh, you're still way
listen,
behind.
Shane. You can call it what you want. That's fine. I mean, Hughes has said, call it whatever you want. If I call it rebuilding, it is what it is. I'm just putting a name to something. That's all. It doesn't. But they're definitely doing something. If you want to call it retooling or rebuilding, because listen, having Dak now there, moving Romanov, that's it's a little getting into a little more than retooling. And now Petrie's gone, Paling. It is a rebuild, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter what you call it. They're making changes. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be amazing if Habs get 2 lottery picks. Yes. Nathan, we got enough for Petrie, both team and player happy. I think the team would have, and the fans would have liked to get more for Petrie. I just don't think it was available. Shane, I think that is Hughes's job. I mean, he's trying to do that, shed some of that salary. How many games with Matheson? He will be fine. Oh, seen many games with Matheson. He will be fine. Oh, Matheson's a good defenseman. I mean, he's not great, but he's good.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I am happy, even though we don't really have cap space anymore, I am happy that we brought Pitlick back.
We got 53 people in this room right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Hey, if you're having a good time, give a thumbs up. Appreciate that. And if you haven't already, subscribe. And if you haven't already, we appreciate that too. 53, now 54. That's the most we've had here in the longest time at one time.
I do like the fact that Pitlick's coming back because I think he's,
yeah.
I think they throw him on like the third line. He'll work hard, he'll do what he does.
Well, I think they moved Paling, so definitely opened up a spot for a young guy like Pitlick at 1.1 million. I mean, how could you say no?
2.1.
2.2 for the 2 years.
I think it's if it was only 1.1, then we'd have over $1 million in cap right now.
Are you sure? Oh, maybe I got that wrong then. That's how I read it.
I'm pretty sure it's 2.1 AAV.
Yeah, it could be. I could have gotten that wrong. I make mistakes. What are you going to do? Armia will
Oh
probably
no, it
be
is
in it.
1.1.
Well,
What the hell?
you made the mistake, not me. Stan, for Armia, no room for him on the team. Not much choice.
Oh yeah. So we actually have
we have a little over $1 million.
1.2 million. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Armia. They might have to give Armia away, as I just said, but yeah, I'm running behind here. With the young guys who played a few games at the Habs, I enjoyed thinking of what this year would look like. Well, they said they're going to play those guys, so I think it'll be an interesting season. I don't think it's going to be a great season as far as record goes, but Shane says, I know there's interest in Armia, but issue is, will they get enough? Well, I'm telling you, I think future considerations might get you Armia.
That guy gets traded a lot, man. He just can never stick with one team.
Who's that?
Future considerations.
Yeah. Yeah. But just a lot of them. They all named the same. There's a lot of them in the league.
But listen, Armia for future considerations isn't as bad as Pacioretty for future considerations.
No,
like, think about that from Vegas, right? To get him, you gave up Tatar, you gave up the pick that turned into Norlander, and you gave up Nick Suzuki.
Yeah, all for futures. Yep.
Like,
I know, it's crazy.
My God.
Bad management. Very bad asset management on their part.
Oh, my God, yeah. And now they're trying to get rid of William Karlsson, I guess?
Are they?
Carries like a $7 million cap hit.
Yeah, I guess they want to get rid of everybody with money. I don't know where they're all going to fit in the league. If that cap doesn't go up soon.
Yeah.
The only way Slavzilla doesn't make the Habs if he meets a French-Canadian girl. Doesn't? No, that'll be even more so. You mean because he won't think about hockey? No, I wouldn't worry about that. She'll straighten him out. Richardson should come back as he signed on in Chicago under false circumstances. He did not know they would give all the players away. I wonder if he did or didn't. They probably told him they're going to be doing this big rebuild. Nathan says he'd be okay with Armia for a third. Me too. I don't know that you're going to get much more for him, really. Habination. Loyal to whom? I know I made a comment about loyalty. I don't even remember. You're going to have to remind me what I said. I have too many things here to remember everything. The only minor player that I think that can play on the team will not, and that is Sean Farrell. He's going to be in college. He agreed to play his last year at Harvard. Yeah, he won't be on the team this year. Farrell will be a great to wait for. The PLD rumors need to stop. They are so frustrating, and they're so stupid. Dubois for Dvorak and a pick or something else. That is what the talk is. No, I've seen more than that. If it's Dvorak and a pick for Dubois, not happening. I mean, that's not going to do it either. That's an underpayment. The other's an overpayment.
I mean, listen, if Dvorak and a pick did get it done, then I wouldn't complain, but no, I don't think it would get it done.
Would I trade Evans, Farrell, and a first round for Dubois and a later round pick?
And then who's your fourth line center? You trade Evans, who's playing fourth line center.
Because Paling's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Dvorak they're talking about then would be fourth. He'd still be here.
You're gonna put a guy making like $4 million on the fourth line?
No, I don't think people think everything out properly.
Like, come on.
Caulfield's not going anywhere unless we get an absolute top player. Caulfield's going nowhere because Caulfield is a top player in the making. Why are you trading him for a top player?
Yeah, that whole first line's untouchable. I'm getting sick and tired of seeing Caulfield's name floated in
the grass is. The grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence. It's just not.
Not only that, but he loves it here. Like what? Like it just makes no sense. Just makes absolutely zero sense to trade him. Zero.
Dubois was in Cape Breton for the Q draft, and he said he loved playing in Winnipeg. Exactly. So I don't know. That's who I was talking about. Loyalty was Dubois. Rory, 1,000% agree. Nathan, we can wait 2 years and sign him, then we are ready to contend, but I'm not sure what a period, even though. Yeah, okay. We were talking about that earlier. Yeah. If Doc doesn't produce well in Montreal due to injuries or poor play, is his NHL career close to finish? No idea. He's 21 years old. Why we want to talk like that about a 21-year-old kid? He was definitely not drinking the Kool-Aid Torts was stirring. Not a lot of people do. Nobody will take Byron. Forget that trade. He is way too expensive for what he is. No, I know that. Byron might have to retire. I know he's got an injury thing. I don't know. I don't know Byron's health. I heard something the other day that made me question it, but I didn't hear everything. So I don't know the extent, but it's something with his hip still. He's in therapy or he's got something wrong still. Had Chinese food for supper. Man, that stuff makes you thirsty. Hours later.
Yeah, it does.
Talk to you later, David. Dadnaugh, Byron, and Drouin are gone next year. $14 million combined. And you add Jake Allen, and it's almost $17 million. What's going on with Drouin? He is recovering from a wrist surgery. He's ready. It's a contract year. I kind of expect he'll think, well, I need a new contract. I'll have to play all year. I'll have to do it.
Well, you would think that, but if he gets even like wind blown on his wrist, he's probably be like, "Oh no, it's broken again."
Okay, if Jonathan Drew is watching, I'm just having fun. I'll have to stop masturbating all the time now because I have to play hockey and earn money. Did I
he's in
do
Quebec,
that?
and I don't know why you'd have to do that all the time. It can't be that hard to go out and find someone.
But they hear, oh, Jonathan Drouin. No, go somewhere else. No? Okay, now bad taste, I know. If Price goes at LTIR, we suddenly have $24 million in cap to offer Caulfield his next contract. Yeah. If he goes on LTIR, remember one thing though, right? Whatever his status is, like he can't play and he needs to go on LTIR. If Montreal is not at the cap, he can't go on LTIR. You can't put players on LTIR unless you're at the cap. So you got to remember that. Mm-hmm. Joe Williger. Trade Drouin for a bag of pucks. That's my saying, man. That's my saying. You'll get a lot more than a bag of pucks for Drouin. You'll be surprised. You probably get a decent return after he starts to play, and teams see that he can play and his wrist is good. The guy does produce points. I think you'll get an okay return for Drouin.
He's a hell of a passer of the puck. He just can't friggin' play more than 30 games.
Yeah, well, he'll have to this year if he wants a good contract next year.
Yeah. And I mean, I saw a comment like, "Oh, they should move Drouin at the trade deadline." It's like we've been saying that for the last 3 years, but every single damn year he gets hurt and he misses.
Yeah, you can't trade him.
Yeah, that'd be the dream scenario, but
yeah, we don't live by dreams. BL Pizzetta is back also. Yes, Mike Pizzetta has signed a 1-year, one-way contract. So his one-way contract seems to say to me that he should be a regular on that fourth line. Mm-hmm. Pitlick is a good bottom 6. I'm glad we kept him. I'd say middle 6. For me, it's middle 6 guy. He can play second line. Best at third line, I think. But I think, I'm sure he can play fourth line, but, he shouldn't really be on your fourth line. So I say Pitlick.
Pitlick?
Yeah.
No, but he's the type of guy like Lehkonen. You can slot him wherever you need him.
No, I get that. I get that, but I'd say he's, I'd rate him
Oh no,
as a middle six
I'd
guy.
play him middle six. I know what you're saying, but I also just want to put it out there that he's the type of guy like Lehkonen. You can slot him wherever you need him. He'll work hard. He'll win puck battles.
Yeah. I think I like Pitlick a lot. Mr. Graboo. We needed a D in return for Petrie, or we'd have too many spots to fill with rookies. He did say that, as a matter of fact. He was just the other day saying what. I guess he was asked what he might get in return, and he mentioned, that this experienced defenseman might be part of the return for a trade of Petrie, or they'd have to go out and look for one. But it was part of the return. Glad Pizza is back. Yeah. Hey, Julie. Hey, I see you out there. How's it going? Mr. Krebu says we'd have to pay for people to take our meal. Well, that's basically what future considerations is. Here, take the guy. You just take him. Let's take him. We'll call it future considerations. Yeah, we're going to do something in the future. But usually they don't. I mean, you get a guy that's for your minor team, you're not going to get a useful guy back in that.
You know what I just realized? So our first game of the year is against Toronto, right?
Yeah.
There may be a time on the ice where we end up with our top line of Slav, Suzuki, and Caulfield, and their defensive pair is Mete and Jordy Ben with Matt Murray and net.
Someone who is a writer in Toronto.
That to me is an uh-oh.
Someone who's a writer in Toronto with a white check mark put out how he's impressed with how Kyle Dubas has quietly gone out and had a nice little off season. And I sent it back as most. I just put a bunch of ha ha ha.
I saw that on Twitter. Yeah.
Are you like what? You drinking the Kool-Aid, man? Too much. Yeah. Can you believe that they actually think those moves? I don't know. They got a 60-year-old goalie in a 28-year-old body. They got 2 ex-Habs defensemen. One is like 50, and one is just too small and not talented enough to make up for the too small. And some of their other, where did they improve?
They did sign Callie Yanrock, but now they have no cap space. So
Callie Yanrock. Yeah, okay.
So unless they make a trade, they're probably going to lose Rasmus Sandin. They're probably going to lose Pierre.
I just want to say, on a team that has Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, John Tavares, Nylander, we signed Callie Yarncroc. We're going to win the cup. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, right? I don't think so. So what have they done? The team is worse. So, they're talking about, we'll get out. We're gonna get out of the first round now. No, you're not. You're going to get out of the first round, but by not getting into the first round.
No, they'll do what they did at the draft. They just trade out of the first round.
Well, they kind of did, didn't they? I mean,
no, they did trade out of the first round.
No, but they also are for next year. They've already traded out of the first round.
I mean, listen, 2 of their D-men go down. Jordy Ben and Victor Mete are the next 2 guys in. Ugh.
They're going to have a goalie that literally is going to be playing with a freaking cane in one hand. In his catching glove is going to be a cane, and he's going to have his stick. And look at him. Look at a picture of Matt Murray. He looks like he's 60 years old, and he's starting to play like it. He hasn't had a good season in 3. Anyways.
I mean, he's coming off a year with an 888 save percentage.
I just think it's so funny that, if it were Montreal and they did that, we'd be screaming at him, what kind of garbage are you bringing us? At least we know when we're bad. They don't even know when they're bad. And the only reason I'm up on it and talking about it still is because they're just insufferable about it. That's why. So, I hate them.
That's the save percentage of their goalie tandem on average, 892.
They're winning a cup with that. I think if you add a 1 in front of that, that's the year that Matt Murray looks like he was born.
1892.
Yeah.
I know. No, I saw it. I saw a still of him in his interview, like his introduction interview or something like that. And
It's from last year. It was from last
it
season.
was from
He was
last year.
coming
I was
back
like,
from an injury. Yeah. I saw that
I
too
was like, oh
last
my
year.
god, he
Now,
looks like he's like 70, like my dad.
I said, that's not. Someone put a picture of somebody else, and it's not him. And yeah, it was. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Dubas looked at that and go, oh, he looks like my grandfather. I got to have that guy.
I think that his whole obsession with the Sioux Greyhounds might be his undoing. Because that's why that happened.
I think as a little boy, Kyle Dubas was raped by a greyhound. And it was in Sault Ste. Marie. And I think he's been affected by it ever since. That's just a joke.
I think
Nobody should take that seriously. And I should not have any Leafs fans or Kyle Dubas himself come after me for that. It was a joke.
No, because look at all the moves he's brought in Greyhound after Greyhound after Greyhound. That's why he got Matt Murray, because he was a Sioux Greyhound.
He was what, an assistant.
He was
general
the GM
manager?
of the
He was
Greyhounds.
the GM there, yeah. Yeah, it seems like he still thinks he is the GM, or he graduated from there. He's just graduating as many Sioux Greyhounds to the Leafs. Listen, the more the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. It'll keep him out of the playoffs. That's where the Leafs should be.
Tony, you're right about that. Yeah, the Leafs are gonna have to score like 6 or 7 goals a game just to win. They're gonna have to. My God.
Yeah. And that's not.
When your starter has an 888 save percentage, you're gonna probably have to score 8.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. They're doing nothing until they solve the price problem. Who's that now? By us? As far as goaltender, I mean, there's no solving the price problem. Carey Price not coming back. I don't want to say that, but every day where there's no kind of news that's positive, he's not coming back. He's definitely not ready for the start of the season, so he's going to miss significant time. At best, he's going to miss significant time next season. That's what I think. Well, this season, and then I don't know.
Hey, do you think if Slavkovsky rips an absolute piss missile, do you think it might, and it hits Matt Murray in the chest, do you think it might actually cave his chest in?
No, I'll tell you why. Because his chest is already caved in because he's 80 freaking years old, it looks like. So
it'll just go through his chest and in the net?
Yeah. It'll just sort of, it'll make his chest go through it won't go through the chest, but the puck will still get in the net and then bounce out. I don't know.
It'll go through his.
I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know where I was going with that.
Because, man, he has to stop one of those point blank. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah. Mark, will Drummond be gone by trade deadline? Yes. I mean, I think so. Shane says, I have to say, I was pissed off that Habs made Logan a centerpiece this week after the issue with Hockey Canada. Yeah, what does that have to do with Logan Mailloux, though? I understand the issue and all that, but what does that really have to do with Logan Mailloux? How do I want to put this? If you made a mistake at 16 years old, it might have hurt somebody, but, it wasn't life-threatening or anything like that. Would you want the rest of your life to have that held against you, never being allowed to rehabilitate yourself? So my challenge to you, Shane, is this. Do you know everything in his rehabilitation that he's gone through so far, that the Montreal Canadiens have put him through, that that he's not following and he's not doing what he should be doing and we shouldn't be talking about him? I say no. You don't? So I don't
everything
see why.
I've read about his rehab and his everything is extremely positive. It sounds like he understood, like he fucked up, part of my language, but it sounds like he understands, he messed up bad and he's.
You got to let a guy rehabilitate.
Listen, he understands why he did it and he doesn't want to make that mistake again. And he sounds like he wants to make sure other people don't make that mistake. Like, it really sounds like it's hit home for him. Like, it really sounds like
just to clarify for people who don't maybe understand what he did. He had sex with a girl. While he was having sex with her, from what I understand, she knew that he was taking the pictures, or it was a video or pictures. She was consensual for that. What she didn't allow him to do was to show it to his buddies, which he did. This is what he did. He didn't rape her. He did. There's a lot of things he could have done that are way worse than what he did. What he did was wrong, but what he did was rehabilitatable. And I don't, so you got to give a 16-year-old kid the chance to rehabilitate. And like I said, all the reports are positive. Montreal's being very cautious with him, and only allowing this now. Anyway, he's had to go through a lot. I'm not apologizing for the kid by any means.
No.
But I do think that he's done the work he needs to do so far. And yeah, I'm going to allow him to rehabilitate. I mean, that's basically it. I'm not anointing him a Hab or this or that or anything. I think he's still a long way away from Montreal.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's what I got to say. Just got to remember what he did. And he didn't do other things that I think a lot of people confuse it with. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and look, with if you're comparing it to what happened with Hockey Canada, I mean, totally different, different
that's
acts.
shit.
You know what I mean? Like it's
that's a really serious situation. You see what they're saying to the players? If you don't cooperate with this, they reopen the investigation. Yeah, you're done with Hockey Canada. You're banned from Hockey Canada. Mm-hmm. So they're serious about it. Yeah. Rems, what if they trade Dvorak and Schnarr? Maybe a round 2 for Dubois? Not enough. So, yeah. I would be okay with that too, but I don't think Winnipeg would. Winnipeg needs a center. I get it, but that's not enough. You got to throw in more than that. There's no need to rush for Dubois. Win. The more we wait, the least negotiating power the Jets have. In 2 years, we get him for free. And we don't have to negotiate with Winnipeg. In 2 years, we just sign him. Mm-hmm. Best thing to do. And if he really wants to play in Montreal, guess what? He'll be there in 2 years.
Yeah,
and if he's not, then he didn't want to play here, really. Mm-hmm. Right? And he's full of shit, which he might be. I don't know how I'm falling so far behind in these comments. Jesus. If Price retires or goes on LTIR, is there any young up-and-coming goaltenders out there? I was hoping for
Price
Samsonov.
Retires, we're kind of screwed.
Well, he's not going to retire. It'll be an LTIR situation.
Right, but I'm just saying, if getting that point out of the way, because you did ask about retirement. If he retires, we're screwed because of the cap recapture. Yeah,
we're screwed for a season. One season, we're really screwed. Thoughts on Mete and Ben signing with Toronto? I love the signing of Mete and Ben for Toronto. I love it. If I was a Leafs fan, I would hate it. Absolutely hate it. Samsonov, okay. I think it's obvious Samsonov they're not planning on him being the starter. He may end up that way because Murray plays like crap. But, that one's okay. I just don't think they overwhelmed or did anything. I thought the very best you could say about Toronto with their signings, in my opinion, is that it was lateral move. No better than that. But I don't even think it was as good. I know.
In goal, I think it was like they downgraded.
Yeah, I think they downgraded. Personally, I'm saying the best I think you could say about it is it's just lateral, and they're going to be no better than last year. But I don't think they're going to be as good. I mean, Samsonov's going to have to really step up and take over that. In my opinion, I don't think Murray's going to get the job done in Toronto, especially if he has a rough start to the season. Those fans, man, there's no way. He's just not going to have a good start there.
No.
Hang on, that's my alarm.
And look, like
Yes.
the Yanrock
Yes.
signing,
Stop.
like I don't think it moves the needle for Toronto, but I don't think it's like I don't think it's a bad signing.
It's not a bad signing, but
It's he's a good middle six guy, but
it doesn't change anything for them.
right.
That's all. I'm just saying, if you're going to be fans that are going to, oh, we're much better, but you're not, though. You're not. At least in Montreal, at least we end up getting to that point where we can admit that, we're crap right now. But we both, I mean, I think every team's fan base has rose-colored glasses on. So I just don't, I don't know, it's whatever. I just like to put Toronto down. But I honestly really think they're not making the playoffs. That's an honest hot take. It's not just to get to the Toronto fans that I say that.
Hey,
I just don't
Kelly, how
see
you
them
doing?
making it. I just don't see. I'm scrolling. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just so far behind. The goalie prospects coming down the pipeline and the current ones we have are very thin, and it's an awful goalie market right now. Yeah, I mean, we've got some prospects. It's just that they're not really close. So, yeah, it's probably why Montreal, won't trade Allen before the trade deadline next season. And I said this before that I could see them re-signing him to another short-term deal, depending on how things go and what the market is like and how their younger goalies are developing. Joseph says, Leafs not making the playoffs. Their first game in Montreal, Jack Eye will take care of Matthews. I don't think Jack Eye will be here start the season. And he might not stick around at all for any particular portion of time next season. But the season after that, I got to think he will be here.
Jack Eye.
Yeah, that's Arbor.
Oh.
Apparently, the XHEK, that's how you pronounce it, is Check-Eye or Jack-Eye, something like that. So everyone's calling him Jack-Eye. Everyone's calling him Jack-Eye now. It's close enough, apparently. I just call him Arbor. It's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bay it's a good point. They talk about Murray winning 2 cups, but are not telling them that he was the backup. So, yeah, I mean, he's not doing the job. Okay, enough about the Leafs because, we could stay here half the night.
I do like this, son. Honestly, it wouldn't shock me if Ottawa gets a wild card spot. It really wouldn't. I think Pierre-Luc is cooking with some serious gas right now. I think he's made a lot of great moves for that organization. It wouldn't shock me at all.
If those guys gel together pretty quickly, then yeah, I could see Toronto and Ottawa not flipping spots necessarily, but Ottawa jumping over Toronto and kicking Toronto out of the playoff picture.
I don't know. I still think Toronto gets there.
I know everybody else does too, but that's fine. I don't care.
Well, because if I had to pick a team that I really believe could regress this year, I think I'd have to pick Boston. Because as far as I know, even though I keep seeing Krejci and Bergeron are coming back, I haven't seen like anything like tenable on it.
Their window's closed. Listen, their window's closed.
I haven't really seen anything that kind of proves that to me because they keep saying they signed 1-year deals, but I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing it on Cap Friendly. I'm not seeing it, by the Bruins.
Their window's closed anyway. Even they come back, their window is it's very close to close, if not all the way.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, if the both of them come back, this is their last year. This is it.
And with Toronto, their window's not closed, but I think the management's trying to close the window quick. I think Dubas is trying to close the window that's open, but not seriously open.
Well, Matthews is a UFA in 2 years. I mean, if they don't do anything by then, like in terms of playoff success,
Matthews has done nothing for them.
Well, I'm just saying that's the team. Like if they either miss the play, if first of all, if Toronto misses the playoff this year, Dubas is out.
Yeah, Shanahan's out.
Shanahan's probably out. Sheldon Keefe might even be out.
He's out, not might be. He'll be out.
But
Clean
no,
house.
I think if that happens, then I think it'd be the beginning of the end for the Matthews era because I think
It's already.
I just don't see him re-signing there in 2 years.
It's already the beginning of the end because they're 2 years away from him leaving because he'll be a UFA. So it's at the beginning of the end of the Matthews era, in my opinion. He doesn't resign there. They can't afford him anyways. How much is he going to be asking for?
Yeah, I know.
So,
but yeah, just back. Unless the Bruins really do bring back Krejci and Bergeron, I think they regress. I think there is a shot they miss the playoffs. Couple of reasons. One, no Marchand, no McAvoy, and no, I think it's Zaboriel. There's one other guy for like the first 4 months of the year. The top two centers right now, without Bergeron and Krejci, are Charlie Coyle and Nick Foligno.
No, listen, I think Boston and Toronto fall out. I mean, it's going to be a couple of new teams making the playoffs this season. That's my hot take. I didn't say it about Boston yet, but I think it's obvious. Boston just.
But I think if I had to pick between those two teams, I think Boston's probably my candidate to regress.
No, I agree with that 100%. But I think Toronto is the moves they've made. They didn't go forward. They went backward. And I think they went backward far enough with everything that they've gone through in the last 6 years. Their confidence level has to be low. No, they're not going to go forward. They're going out of the playoffs. I'm not going to change from that. Stan the Man says, unfortunately, living in Toronto, I have to listen to all how great Murray will be in a Toronto uniform. I think, listen, as a Habs fan, I think Matt Murray will be great in a Toronto uniform. I really do. Now, if I was a Leafs fan, I'd be like, no, why did they do that? That's what I'd be like. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, BL. I think Toronto's still good enough offensively. I think they get in. Like I said, I'm a lot more comfortable with Boston probably regressing. Ottawa maybe jumps them for a wild card spot. Maybe even Detroit. I think Yzerman's been kind of sneaky with his moves. I think Detroit moves up a little bit in the standings.
Detroit, yeah. Yeah, I think Detroit could be, Ottawa and Detroit could be the two teams that make that move over Boston and Toronto here. Could Toronto fall that far back out? I don't know, but they're not making the playoffs. They might have a run where they're in the race for the wild card. They're not getting it. They ain't getting it. And trust me, I've called them. I called Montreal beating them before the playoffs that year. I called them to lose again last season. I called them to lose the whole way. They're not winning. I thought they'd do it in 4, losing 4, but it was 7. But I called it. So listen to me when I say they're not making the playoffs. They're not. I want to see Gooley and Jack on the team this year. Big bodies who protect teammates. We will need them since it's going to be a lot of losing. Gooley, I think definitely. I don't know. Arbor might not make it. He might. Listen, I wouldn't put it past him. That's a guy on the rise. As far as talent and how he's been, what the scouts say about him and all that, I think that's a guy that, he's going to get here faster than I think anybody thought. Like, a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, 100%, BL. Yzerman is definitely up there in terms of GMs in the league. Without a doubt.
Okay, Shane, I don't know why you put that comment in again, but I addressed it. So I don't want to address it again. Arby's will be fun to watch when he makes the team. Why, we getting roast beef sandwiches at center? Who's Arby's? I don't. Is Arby's Arbor? Is it Arbor, or I'm thinking it could be Kirby Doc? I don't know. I don't know. Arby's is, we got the meats. The Habs didn't make him the centerpiece. He was at development camp. The media asked him about his progress. Right. He wasn't the centerpiece. They did a bit of there was something done about it. Yeah. That doesn't make him the centerpiece, though. The centerpiece of development camp was Slavkovsky. And if you doubt that, well, I don't know. I don't think that's doubtable. And the guy who actually opened up eyes, other than Slavkovsky, was Lane Hudson. He was, he was an eye opener.
I told you. Didn't I tell you? As soon as they drafted him, I told you.
Yeah, I didn't disagree with you ever. He is a talented kid.
Uber talented.
Can he make it work at the NHL level? That's kind of the thing. Okay, where am I? Hey, Lucifero, how's it going? How are you on this warm Montreal day? It is warm under my lights tonight, too. It's freaking warm in here right now, guys. I got to tell you. I was taking the sun in front of my pool, and I'm really tan now. I'm not really tan, but I'm getting some color after driving. He should know I'm on. I've been driving on my scooter and enjoying that. So, when he hangs up there finally, I don't know why. Pat, why are you calling me Saturday at this time? You know what he'll tell me? But you're only on for an hour. No. All right. I got some pictures that I'm trying to find here of my scooter. My actual scooter, I showed you guys, but it was a picture of one that looks like it. This is going to be my actual one. So, give me a second. I all of a sudden don't know how to find freaking pictures. All right. So where's my gallery? Ooh. I got this update. I don't know. It changed. Everything changed. I don't have the same screens. I don't know. Can't find my gallery now. Seriously, I can't find my gallery. That sucks. Go the hard way. I just said I want to show you. There it is. Whoop.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. With my Canada flags. Yeah, that's my scooter. It's an old person's thing, but at least it's kind of set up like a motorcycle, so it feels I can fantasize. There you go. Let's get I can't believe we're still running over 50 people in this room. I hope I'm not boring anybody. Please give a thumbs up if you're having a good time. Appreciates that. Actually, Shane, it kind of is. Okay, Shane says, let us also not forget that what Logan did is not against the law here in North America. It certainly wasn't the right thing to do, but he has accepted the issue. I'm not so sure it's not against the law. I know he didn't post it anywhere, which would be definitely against the law. It's somewhat. I don't know. But, I mean, he didn't rape anybody. He just showed something he wasn't supposed to. That's not the same. It's violating her privacy. I'll give you that, which is totally wrong. I'm not making light of that. But people are making it out like he's a monster. I don't think that was a monster type of thing. If he's doing the work to get better, then that's it. And that's all we need to say about Logan Mailloux. So, please. I don't really want to talk about him more. When he gets here, when he's, ready to make his appearance in the system more than he is now, okay. But right now, he's still a couple of years away. Beba, I think you got that right. Players in the NHL have done a lot worse. Whether we know about it or don't, I think that is true. I mean, that's it. I don't want to talk about Mailloux anymore. Hey, Kelly, how you doing? Kelly, a little late, and I'm getting to it 15 minutes later. Wow, I'm still that far behind. Yikes. Surprised to hear you say you were on Mailloux's side since day one. No, haven't been on his side since day one. I did not say that. I have not been. I've changed my mind on it since then, but doesn't mean that because I changed my mind that what I'm saying now is not accurate. I mean, it's accurate, and I'm allowed to change my mind. And what I had said in the beginning too was I wanted to monitor, like, if he's really doing the things he needs to do and he's getting better, I'll be fine with that. But at the first when I heard about it, I did not want nothing to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm allowed to modify my position.
Yeah, I know, BL. Sox are getting skunked. That's fine. I'm not worried.
Landfill's fan base doesn't have rose-colored. Arizona Landfill's fan base doesn't have rose-colored glasses. Oh, that's you calling the Coyotes the Landfills? That's a good name. They don't have fans. I think that's what you mean. They don't have fans. Tony says Mailloux will be a steal if he can get by all this and just play. I actually want to say something about that. Mailloux still has to develop, right? He's seriously behind in his development. I think he's almost at a crossroads in that development where he really has to make some real big strides there. Or, I mean, Mailloux could bust out. That's how far behind he is in his development right now.
Mm.
He's like literally 2 or more seasons behind.
Kelly likes your hat and your scooter.
Thank you, Kelly. Well, I appreciate you being nice about the scooter and not making a joke, because most people do. Hang on, I got a cough. But I mean, I like it, so I'm good with it. But
So
thank
good,
you.
Rick. We know you're elderly.
And yeah, I love the hat. Me too. Okay, I'm scrolling a bit because I'm way far behind. I'm trying to get closer to the time we are actually at. All right, there we are.
If he plays the full year, yeah, I think you can pencil him in for 35 assists, maybe 10 goals, 10, 15 goals. But that's if he plays.
Well, Durant kind of has to have a solid year. It's a contract year. If he doesn't have a good year, I don't know what kind of money he thinks he's going to get.
But it's the big thing is if he can play. Like, he has to play. That's
he has to play, yeah. Without a doubt. I mean, he has to play. No Habs flag because I couldn't find any yet. As soon as I can find, I'm going to. I'm not putting. Oh, I'm in a different room. The one that I had in the other room, I'm not putting that. It's too big. So as soon as I can find or stickers, I want to put some. Like I want to do some stuff, but I haven't found it. So yeah, I mean, I just got it. It's 2 weeks, so it's not like I've had it for a long time. Nathan says, "Great hockey chat, especially mid-July. Hydrate. I drink all the time. I'm hydrated, and I thank you. I appreciate that. Well, we go through the whole. We go through all the summer, so." Every Saturday, it's rare I miss a Saturday. It happens, but it's rare. So, is Chicago a good landing spot for Matthews when he becomes a free agent?
Given what he does off the ice, probably fit like a glove.
Probably. You're right. You're right. Is Chicago a great landing place for sex offenders? Yes, it is. Yeah, it's as good a spot as any. I mean, I don't know. I think he wants to go back home to Arizona. I mean, that's the big rumors. What everybody thinks.
Play in a college arena, though.
Okay, but for one season, because they'll be there 3, he'll be maybe 1 season. Let me put it this way: at least the season he'll be there, they'll fill the arena.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of curious to see the
attendance, eh?
The attendance between Arizona State's hockey team and the Coyotes.
Arizona State's hockey team out draws.
Their hockey team's not that bad.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if that is what happens.
Matthews would hail. John Gibson agrees with me. I see that. Oh, I'm at the bottom. All right. Will Drew be traded? Trade deadline next year. I
If
think
he plays.
if he play. Yeah, well, yeah. If he's still playing, then yeah. I'm gonna start backing up to Ferrari red scooter. No, but I don't know. Honestly, I bought it. I don't know the make. I don't know who makes it. There's no name on it. I didn't get the owner's manual with it, so I haven't figured out what make it is. It's a Canadian. I know it's a Canadian company that makes that my scooter. But it's funny because just today I was driving it and I'm coming up the street and I see one just ahead of me, red, and it looks like one like mine, and it was one like mine but different make. And I said, "No, I'm getting ahead of him," and I did. I passed him, and he didn't like it because he tried to pass me again, and it didn't happen. So yeah, I'm competitive.
Yeah. I just wanted to say about that. No, I appreciate that, Nathan. Appreciate that a lot.
Did Nathan say something nice about you?
Oh, well, about the
Oh
channel.
no, but
That's
he
what I
was
had up.
no, he was talking about me though.
He was talking about both of us.
I just bugging you. Hey, Guru, how you doing, Guru? Nice to see you. Your name is on the thumbnail. You, Baybye, I think I had Kenny B. There's a couple of you guys. If you looked at the thumbnail, I had your names on there. I didn't have Matt's. Yeah, I had Matt's name on there. What is Slavkovsky's grocery bill? I would not want to pay his groceries. No. Happy Nation, I did call the Habs to beat the Leafs. Yeah. Going into the playoffs, everyone wanted Edmonton. Montreal should play Edmonton. We could beat Edmonton. And I said, no, I want the Leafs. We're going to beat the Leafs. So go back, check out my videos. I can say this because it's on video. Sorry. I took shit from people because I wanted to play Toronto and not to play Edmonton. I also said the King. That was this past season. Yeah, I got that one wrong. See, I admit when I am wrong. Hell, the Kings, they screwed me first round. Boom, gone. So yeah, they won the first two games, and it was like, yeah, I made a good choice, and that was it. So yep. Leafs progressively get worse and worse. Won't even get a wild card spot this year. That's what I'm saying. BL is saying, Matt Yzerman is a top 5 GM in the NHL.
I saw it.
Oh, you saw that? I'm going backward because I had hit bottom. I hit rock bottom. I have to go up after you hit rock bottom. Okay, I'm back down here. Do I have an Alouettes pants to match your hat and t-shirt? Oh, no, I'm not really into football anyway. And if I watch any football, it's not CFL.
No, if he watches the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and his favorite player, Tom Brady.
Yeah, like never. That sentence never came out of my mouth ever. Ever. Yeah, I don't watch. I just don't watch the L's. Drew is in last contract year. Might help to unload him at trade. Well, that's yeah. Listen, they'll either move him at the trade deadline or he walks at the end of the season. There's only two choices there, really, or they re-sign him. So there's three. Are they going to re-sign Drew? He'd have to have a hell of a good year, I think, for them to re-sign him. I don't see it really happening. Baybye says my scooter is a toy compared to his beast. Well, I mean, it is kind of. So I make no bones about that.
I still can't believe Slav almost broke the damn exercise bike off the stand.
Oh no, he almost did.
No, I know. I still can't believe he almost did that.
Yeah.
And he didn't even break a sweat.
Well, that we don't really know.
I mean, it wasn't breathing hard.
Okay, I'll go back down here. Where am I? Right. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read. Did you guys hear anything about Price's next $10 million bonus in December? He is not going to turn that down. Do you think he will retire after that? He doesn't have a $10 million bonus. It's either 5 or 6 million. There's no, the bonus money isn't more than that, and the salary is actually quite low as well. So, yeah, I don't know where you got that from, Joseph. I think when he first signed the contract, he might have had a year or two where he had that high a bonus, but I don't think now, as far as I know, it's like 5 or 6 million in bonus money. Last I looked, anyway, that's what my brain is telling me. Do I rely on what my brain tells me? And really, I don't know. Sometimes I don't.
And he won't retire. If anything, he just let his contract be an LTIR because, like I said, if he retires, we're severely handcuffed for the next
he's not going to
2 years.
He's not going to retire.
I look at what is it, Chicago right now? So I think pay $5.6 million because Duncan Keith retired, so that cap recapture.
Yeah. Dorion, the GM from Ottawa, is making some nice moves too. They should be competitive this year. Yep. Oh yeah, Ottawa changed their. They made some moves. They might be playoff bound. I don't know. They might have got themselves into the wild card race anyway. Have to see how they respond and how they gel and how, if the fits are all good. But he wasn't breathing hard. That's what she said last night. Not a football fan, but there is a Toronto Argos game today down the road in Wilford. Yeah, if I was going to watch CFL, doubt it would be Toronto.
Not a fan of the Argonauts?
There, Rams got it. No. Nothing that has Toronto in the name. Price's bonus base salary this year, $6.75 million in bonus and $1 million in salary. So there you go. So he's not even getting full $10 million in actual payout. And that's how she works. We're getting close to the end. We're getting close to the end, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting closer to the end. Very bad imitation of Lawrence Welk. Okay. Matt, what do you got to say? Anything important?
Not really.
Me either. Isn't that great? You watch for 90 minutes and then at the end we just totally just suck and just sit here and scratch our necks. And
it's good 90 minutes though.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all we got in us, 90 minutes. That's it. 90 minutes. Have you seen any clips of Habs Prospect goalies? Not really. Honestly, not really. I do know. I mean, I hear great things about Jacob Dobis. I think between Dobis, Dykau, and Verbetic, there's got to be there's probably a prospect in there. Thing is, they're goalies take longer, and sometimes you don't even know. Until they're ready, you don't really even know if they will be. So
we get Primo too, but I think Primo needs to stay in the AHL for a
while.
I
didn't mention Primo because I don't want to see Primo in the NHL this year. I really don't.
No, I think he needs to play the AHL the full year.
there was a plan for him when he started as a pro to play 200 games in the AHL. He hasn't even hit 100 games there yet. So he needs another maybe 2 seasons down there.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe more. I mean, it's a possibility. So Primo shouldn't come back up until he's ready.
Mm-hmm. And look, I mean, in the Memorial Cup, in the Calder Cup playoffs, I mean, he had some very, very, very good games. You know, it's there. The
Yeah.
potential's there. I think he needs more time in the
He needs
AHL
more
to
time
really
down
hone
there.
in on that.
Yeah, exactly. What do we think of the hurricane tweet on Vegas? I don't know what that means. What, them getting? Did they tweet something? Hurricanes, first of all, their social media, they're 12-year-old kids, I think, that run that. So we've been 90 minutes and I'm still entertaining. Wow. That, I never had one girlfriend that once ever said that to me. Not once. So that's pretty good. I'm getting better. Getting better with age. That, in reference to me, has never been said by anybody ever. So there you go. Just me that says it. So what they tweet?
I'm trying to find it.
Something about thanks for their consideration. I'm not sure what Rems is trying to say there. So they're I think they're thanking. That's their future considerations. Thanking Vegas. Is that what you're saying? That'd be funny. That'd actually be funny. No luck. You do not have that right. If Price retires, his cap hit goes away, and they don't pay anything. This is not true at all. Yes, his cap hit goes away, but there's something called a cap recapture penalty that they will have to pay on all of that bonus money they paid him. Can't see it actually. Future considerations. What does it say exactly?
Your impact on the Canes will never be forgotten. Thank you. Future considerations.
Oh yeah, I get it. That's pretty. That's maybe the only funny thing they've ever done. Everything else is just braggadocious. Future considerations, man. Try to be on every team this year. That is a good tweet. It's probably the only one they've ever done, in my opinion. I just find them very braggy, They scored a first goal. We scored a goal in the first 2 minutes of the game. Is that good? So I don't like that. Okay, so yeah, we're losing people. We're losing the stream. If we don't get it back, it'll be dead, Jim. Come on, Matt. Talk away.
I mean,
what do you mean? ABL, have a good night. Thank you.
Night, BL.
That's what you mean? You meant good night, BL? All right. How does Florida do this year?
No luck. If Price retires, we get hit with cap recapture, I think.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, no, we do. Not think, we do. If a player retires before his contract is over, the team that signed him to that contract faces a cap recapture if there was any bonus money paid out.
Mm-hmm.
How does Florida do this year with no Sherratt? Just fine. They did fine without Sherratt to get into position that they were in at the trade deadline. So
they do just fine without Sherratt. And Sherratt, where did he sign? Where did Ben Sherratt sign, Matt?
Detroit.
Oh, yeah, Detroit. Which made a lot more sense than Petrie because Sherratt's a left side defenseman. And that's where they needed to bring a guy in for, not on the right side. So, yeah, it made a lot of sense that Sherratt went there. Going to be a pretty big blue line over there. Sherratt, Sider. Ronick, is that it? Ronick is the other guy there?
I think so.
Philip Ronick, I think so. So yeah, they got a pretty good top three right now. I don't know who else is there as far as to round out that top four, but Detroit's getting better. Detroit is slowly making a rise up the list. And might surprise, well, BL's gone, but it might surprise people that I don't dislike Detroit. Never have had a reason to dislike Detroit. Oddly enough. Even if you want to say, well, they're the big rival of Montreal way back, but too far before my time to really care. Is Gooley right or left defense? He's left side defense. Gooley is left. So we need a partner. Well, no. We need somebody on the right to play. I think we're short of first pairing right side defenseman. To play with, it looks like Matheson. I know people are already saying we're going to trade Matheson. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Matheson will be here to play. I don't see how we move him. Because just think about it. He's got 4 years left at almost $5 million. Again, same problem moving money like that. They're not moving him. And I think on that note, we are going to say so long. If I didn't have headphones on, I'd do that. And see if anybody gets that reference. No young people are going to get that reference. My guess is Baby is going to get that reference. And maybe a couple other people here. Okay. Anybody want to guess why I pulled the lobe of my ear? If not, we're going to say goodnight here. We've been on a little bit over time. Habby Nation might get that reference as well. I forgot Habby Nation was here. But I forget how old Habby Nation is. I think he's older than he is. Have a good night. Have a good night, Nathan. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you.
Something about the hiccups? No. Habby Nation got it. Carol Burnett. But you guys, most of you young guys probably don't even know who she is. But yeah, great show when I was a kid.
A little bit. From my dad.
Yeah, but you don't really know who she is. I mean, you know who she is, but not understand who she is what I'm saying, I guess. Yeah. All right, so we're going to take off here. So let's see what's up for the following week. I know there's going to be days that end in Y. That's coming up this week. I know the sun's going to come up every morning this week. You can bet your bottom dollar that it will. What else? Should have a live stream on Wednesday. Should have, next Saturday we'll have a live stream as well. I will have videos coming out when they come out. I don't know when. And that's it. So, hopefully you guys will be around for the next live streams. And we'll see you on Wednesday. And I think that's it. Have a great rest of the night. You got lots of time left on Saturday night to enjoy the night. And I'm going to try to find something to watch. Oh, I'm watching Resident Evil on Netflix, the TV show. It's not bad. No? Nobody likes that? No?
I mean, I love the video games. I've played all the video games. I've watched the movies. I haven't seen the show yet.
I'm going to leave you guys with a small funny story. So on Twitter this morning, somebody asked, "What's the name of your penis or vagina's name is the last TV show or movie you watched?" So people, this, that, and that. So for me, I watched last night to end the night a show called The Old Man. So that's the name of the little guy. I thought that was really funny. It's so appropriate.
The little guy.
The little guy's called The Old Man now. So there you go. That's the new name.
Oh God.
If you don't like it, talk to the old man. All right. On that note, we are saying goodbye. Have a great night. I appreciate everybody being here tonight, and we'll see you soon. Ciao, everybody. Stay safe out there. Peace out, and see you next time. Bye,
Night,
y'all.
everybody. Night, Kelly. Night, everyone.